Can Sukuna beat Satoru Gojo without Mahoraga? Let's analyze. When Sukuna first incarnated, he immediately clashed with Gojo and quickly realized that Gojo wasn't an opponent he could defeat right then and there. But everything changed when he witnessed Megumi's 10 Shadows technique. Sukuna became especially interested after seeing Mahoraga's ability to adapt to any phenomenon, eventually taking over Megumi's body and using Mahoraga as a blueprint to learn how to bypass infinity. That process ultimately led to the creation of the world-cutting slash.
But here's the real question. Did Sukuna actually need Mahoraga to beat Gojo? Many fans would say yes, but the manga suggests otherwise. Long before Sukuna ever knew about the 10 Shadows technique or Mahoraga, he was already confident he could kill Gojo, and during their fight, we saw why. Domain amplification alone allowed Sukuna to bypass infinity, proving Mahoraga wasn't the only way he could damage him. What's more, Sukuna wasn't inferior to Gojo in close combat despite fighting in Megumi's body. In fact, he often avoided extended hand-to-hand exchanges because domain amplification would stop Mahoraga's adaptation. Rather than fighting solely to win, Sukuna was also fighting to develop a counter to infinity. Then, there's the domain battle. Sukuna repeatedly proved superior in domain expansion clashes, breaking Unlimited Void multiple times and pushing Gojo to the brink of death. Even before meeting the conditions for Fuga, Sukuna was consistently winning the domain war, and that's where the biggest advantage comes in. Throughout the fight, Sukuna expanded his domain 8 times in a single day. Gojo, meanwhile, could only survive 5 activations before the strain on his brain became too much. If the battle had remained a pure domain clash, Gojo was the one operating on a timer. Now add Heian-era Sukuna into the equation. With 4 arms and 2 mouths, he gains a massive advantage in both combat and jujutsu. He also matches Gojo's cursed energy efficiency despite lacking the 6 eyes, and his ability to instantly understand and replicate techniques is practically unmatched. The strongest evidence may come from what happened after Gojo's death. Kashimo described Sukuna's original body as the perfect form for a sorcerer, while Yuta later struggled just to survive 3 minutes against a weakened Sukuna in a domain clash. So, could Sukuna beat Gojo without Mahoraga? Based on everything we saw, the answer is yes. Mahoraga wasn't necessary for Sukuna to win. It was simply the method he chose. In fact, one could argue that Gojo lasted as long as he did because Sukuna used 10 shadows. Even Gojo himself admitted that Sukuna likely could have won without relying on Mahoraga.